Hey there, all you cool, epic, and awesome fans, followers, and listeners. Welcome back. You're now listening to episode 31 of the Cool, Epic, Awesome podcast. Welcome. I am Matt. I'm your co-host.
And I'm your other co-host, Joe.
And today on episode 31, we only have two movies to discuss because theaters have been pretty lacking recently.
Pretty cheeks lately.
Yeah, so we got Gran Turismo, which... Joe, you know, I don't know if the fans know, but this was like my least anticipated.
I thought this was gonna be horrible. Like I just kept seeing the ads every week, and I was like, dude, I remember I
did not want to go. I did not want to see the shit at all, but I ended up actually being surprisingly pretty good. And then besides that, you also on our last episode you recommended The Sound of Music.
Yeah,
which. I don't think you posted any of your Letterboxd reviews yet.
No, I have. I'm like behind like 4 or 5 movies on Letterboxd. I've just been so busy. I'm gonna catch up probably tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. That's obviously like a classic film, and I thought it was fantastic. But
we'll talk about it.
We'll get to it later. So we'll start with Gran Turismo. So for those of you that don't know, Gran Turismo is a video game. It's a Sony PlayStation game. It's about racing, basically. And the premise of the film is it's not like set in the Gran Turismo like world. It's set in a world where Gran Turismo exists as a game, like our real life.
Yeah.
And it's based on a true story where they decided to take the best players in the world and put them into real race cars and like try to see if they could actually race. So I initially thought like this was just going to be a huge like Sony product placement bonanza.
Yeah.
Where it was going to be like just Sony showing off their game, showing off like all the technology they have and shit. But it ended up being like a surprise, amazing movie.
Yeah. That was a fucking banger, dude.
It like was surprisingly emotional. The story was deep. And like you honestly wouldn't even be able to tell it's like a Sony movie.
Yeah, bro.
Like they don't even
so invested in the movie.
They don't even show a PS5 throughout, which I was very surprised. No, they show a PS5 remote, but they never show like a system,
like a console.
And there's not really any product placement. Like there's a little bit, but nothing crazy.
Yeah, like it's all like in the realm of reality. It's nothing like insane.
Yeah, since you like just saw it today, what are your immediate thoughts?
I was just like kind of so surprised, and I thought it was like pretty well written too.
Yeah,
especially like David Harbour's character. What's his name? Isn't it like Luke or something?
Jack.
Was Jack? Oh, I was way off. But I actually really liked his character.
Yeah, he was my favorite character for sure. Orlando Bloom's good in it as well.
Yeah,
who you guys might know as what's his face from Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah, that's like
William Turner.
Yeah,
and he's in Lord of the Rings as well.
Oh yeah,
but
he's a fucking
Legolas or whatever.
Yeah.
And the main dude is pretty good. He's in a couple other things. He's also in that movie Saltburn, which is coming out later this year. He was in the first trailer for that. But yeah, he's like a relatively... Yeah, he is. He's like...
Remember, I don't know why. I didn't recognize him in the trailer.
Well, he's the guy in the beginning that's asking, like, Barry Keoghan's character. His suit is like a rental. But yeah, he was good. The other, like, supporting racer people were all pretty good.
Yeah.
I didn't really totally buy, like, the romance. I wasn't, like, that invested in it.
That was like the one thing that really, like, I just did not enjoy at all. It just felt so forced. Like, he talked to her for like 3 seconds, and he just was like fucking in love with her.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought it was like weird. Not weird. It's just not well executed.
Yeah, it was just like he's supposed to be this outcast kind of kid, and at the beginning they make it clear that like he doesn't like go out that much, but then he goes to this party where he sees this girl, established that they'd have some sort of connection, But then like
Yeah.
when he makes it big, he flies her out. Like I just like a lot of their relationship was off screen, you know.
Yeah.
So,
So I
but I
feel
mean,
like it's hard as the audience to like really buy it.
yeah, and I didn't really love the actress. She just annoyed me, to be honest.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, the thing is, I'm pretty sure you're the same way, but I actually don't give a fuck about NASCAR at all. Like,
Yeah.
I
Nah, I
would never
really
watch it.
nah.
But
I mean, this isn't that. This is a little more like I feel like NASCAR is like super American. This is a little like, and this is like a bigger.
yeah, but I just mean like racing in general.
Yeah, no, I really don't. I don't give a
Like, I
fuck.
know people really like Formula One and stuff like that, but I just don't
Yeah,
give a
but it's
fuck at
just
all.
not my. I mean,
But
like,
this movie made me like like
yeah, dude. I
be
was like, I don't want to
invested
watch
in a
it. Yeah,
race.
I didn't realize how hard it is to race. Like, I know, like, obviously it was hard, but like stuff like I never even thought about.
Yeah, I enjoyed how they sort of like showed it, especially at the beginning, where they're like,
Yeah,
"This isn't a video game." Like when you start an engine and first take off, it's like more G-force than astronauts feel when shooting
yeah,
into space and shit like that. It's like stuff you don't really think about, like how physical the sport is, because like you just think you're just sitting in a car.
yeah,
But yeah, but the action scenes in this were actually incredible. Like just so
yeah.
gripping that you're like tense of what the fuck's gonna happen.
I feel like really
So
good. Like, honestly, a lot of good camera work too.
hmm And I liked how they did like, because it is a little bit hard to follow. No, I mean not for I was able to follow it fine, but I like how they did the showed like what place they were in each time, just to like
Yeah,
you know, and they had like the little PlayStation sound effects.
yeah, that was cool.
Um, yeah, that was cool because it wasn't like in your face, like oh PlayStation, but like
Yeah,
those
but the
who
people
have a
that know, yeah,
PlayStation,
would
like
know it.
yeah. Um, but yeah, it's hard for me to pick a favorite scene because I just loved like all the racing scenes so much.
Yeah,
Although I really did like the crash scene. I thought it was very well done. And
yeah,
that whole like plot point, I was not expecting that he accidentally kills someone.
yeah. No,
It's like
I
really
wasn't
dark.
either. Yeah. And
Um,
as soon as that happened, I kind of had a feeling that what's his name? I keep forgetting his name.
Jack.
Jack, his character. That's why he stopped racing.
Yeah, I didn't like pick up on that right away, but it was like a very cool concept where Jack is kind of like I've been in your shoes before, and if
Yeah,
you don't race now, like you're never gonna be able to get back in a car. So he
yeah,
kind of pushes him to be able to do it, and he sort of like lives through Jan in a way, in that he's like doing what he never could.
yeah,
And the fact that he's able to get on the podium at the end and finish in third place and whatever. Bro, I can't believe this is a real story though.
yeah.
Like when they
It's
showed
even
the actual guy at the end, I was
yeah.
like, what the fuck?
I remember
Uh,
I was. You didn't realize it was like actually a true story, like going into it, right?
no, I didn't. Well, actually, no, I
Oh,
did because they like changed the title on Regal to instead of just Gran Turismo, it was Gran Turismo
oh, based off a true
semicolon
story.
based on a true story. So that was a little strange.
Yeah,
Do you know how it did in the box office? Or no, I honestly didn't really
I
pay
think it like
attention.
shit the bed, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, I
I mean the
mean,
budget couldn't have been that big,
yeah.
but
It kind of
because
had
they
good reviews though.
yeah, it did. I feel like it had a good marketing budget or a big marketing budget because I feel like I saw the marketing for it everywhere.
Yeah, and it got delayed 2 weeks.
Yeah. I think they just wanted to let Barbenheimer die down a bit.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, what I was saying about the action though, like the scenes reminded me a lot of Top Gun because
yeah,
I don't know
and
if you
honestly,
felt that.
similar plot points too,
Yeah, where it's like there's
in the
this
sense that like this,
impossible task
yeah,
that it's
and they
like
like
there's no way
they
they
can
could
only
pull this
select
off.
like they can only you know take a certain amount of people with them to do it.
Mhm. Did you have a favorite scene though that you were gonna pick?
I mean, the crash scene was like very well executed, but honestly, I'm like a lot of the racing scenes I enjoyed. Any of the racing scenes, honestly.
Yeah, I enjoyed a lot of those. The
Yeah,
one thing that I didn't really mess with, aside from the love interest, was like in the final race. Well, first of all, I didn't even know this was real. They raced for 24 hours straight.
Nah, I didn't know that either.
That's like the dumbest shit. But they like just brought in like the other gaming racers, and they were able to do like just as good as Jan.
Yeah.
And like it was just like a little weird. I guess that's how it happened in real life. But
I feel like they probably exaggerated like the way people treated him in the beginning. Like, I don't know. Like, because they were right with him in those races. So, like, you could argue that. You know what I mean?
That's true. But I just thought like he had been through all this shit, and like he almost like he killed someone. He almost killed himself. He'd been through all like these tribulations, and then like the final race, they just get the other gamers to join him as well, who like haven't been through all this shit. I mean, they said they were racing in like smaller circuits, but
yeah.
I mean, if that's how it actually happened, then like I guess, but it was a
I
little
feel like
strange.
it would make sense because they probably have alternates. Like, if that, like, let's say, like something happened and he couldn't race.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, but back to what you were saying about how it was exaggerated a bit. I did think it was funny how like
They just hate him for like.
They hate him for being a gamer. Like the guy's like, oh, you don't got a joystick in there or like something. It's just so
like they make like gamers are like dangerous.
Yeah.
They put them through that like entire boot camp. Like they're dangerous to the game.
Yeah, so it was definitely a bit goofy.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, Nami was let down here by accident. She's messing with the litter box. But anyways, yeah, I think that's about it for me. I don't really have much to say. Just that this went from like my least anticipated movie of the year to probably like within my top 20 of releases this year, or top 15. All around great performances. It was emotional. It was exciting. Kept me on the edge of my seat the whole time. I didn't even really mention the relationship between him and his father, which was also very well done. I like that actor who plays his dad.
Yeah,
he has like he has a name who's like a little hard to pronounce.
He's in Shazam. He was in Aquaman.
Mm-hmm. Or not Aquaman, but Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, he was in Aquaman.
Really? As the wizard?
He plays like, he plays like a random like fish fucking dude. Like one of the fish people.
Oh yeah, you're right. But yeah, no, regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like the shit that hit me the most is like how emotional it was when like I thought it was just gonna be a stupid video game movie.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, so I ended up giving it a 4-star, 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
I just want to check where this ranks on my list of this year's movies, because it's got to be pretty high up. I have it at 17th of the year, which I've seen like over 60 releases this year, 66. So that's not bad. That's not too bad for Gran Turismo, which I've been shitting on as soon as I saw the first trailer.
And
what'd you rate it?
I gave it a 4 stars. 4 stars as well. Like it was just way. I don't know if it's just more the fact that like I didn't expect it to be this good that makes it that much better. But I really did like it. I thought the writing was good. Like you're invested in all the characters. Great action. You know. Mm-hmm. It's not as good as like a Top Gun Maverick, but it's like it's a little below that, I'd say.
Yeah. Well, the action scenes I think are on par, but as like an overall story, and like Tom Cruise's performance, like Top Gun Maverick's obviously better.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. Yeah, before we move on to like movie news, we actually have movie news this week, thankfully.
Yeah.
But so this is like another video game movie that's getting made, which I know it's different than like Mario and like Uncharted because they're like set in that world. But do you think that video game movies are going to be the new like superhero movie? We got FNAF coming this year too.
I mean, I don't know if you saw too. They have an animated movie for the game Stray. I don't know if you've ever played that.
Oh yeah, I meant to send that to you.
I've played it before. It's actually a really like it's like it's like a chill just fucking walk around with a cat. It's very simple, but it's like I could totally see how they can make it like an anime style, like style, and just have like really good visuals and stuff. The story doesn't have to be like super. The cat's lost or whatever. He's gonna,
Yeah, I think Hollywood's starting to finally figure out how to do video game movies.
I mean, because
Because
this,
they have always
this
been complete shit, and then like
shit,
within the
yeah.
past couple of years, they've been slowly getting
Because they've
better.
been
Mortal
following
Kombat
like the
was good.
storylines of it, yeah.
Obviously Mario was good. We
Good.
had Gran Turismo. This was good. I'm missing one. Uncharted, Sonic.
Sonic has been so good, yeah.
They've been starting to like figure
The
it out.
Last of Us,
Not a movie, but still,
yeah.
same idea. So yeah, I guess unless you have anything else to say on the topic, we can move on to some of the news.
Yeah.
Which mainly is trailers. There's not
Yeah.
much actual news, but we did get a lot of trailers. The first one was for Rebel Moon. All these trailers are up on our Instagram, by the way, if you guys want to watch them. But yeah, so Rebel Moon, it's Zack Snyder's take on Star Wars, basically. He initially pitched.
Yeah, wasn't this pitched to? I was gonna say what.
It was pitched as a Star Wars movie, but he wanted it to be rated R, and Disney was like, no. So he just like took the same storyline except did it outside of the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
You could definitely see the inspiration. They have like laser swords.
Yeah, there's like an old a big like imperial type of force.
Yeah, definitely. There's like this whole chosen one kind of vibe.
Yeah.
There's like this. I think it's a woman or a girl that's like the chosen one.
The Scar era. I didn't know. Oh yeah, it's two parts, which I didn't realize.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure both were filmed already.
Yeah.
So like I think that I'm pretty sure the trailer that came out had like footage from both movies.
Probably.
And I think they're going all in on this. It's like they already announced a video game as well.
I mean, listen. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna watch it, but I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about Zack Snyder as a filmmaker.
Yeah. I mean, I still have to, I can't lie. I've only seen his like superhero stuff. I gotta watch.
300?
I gotta watch 300. I gotta watch.
Sucker Punch. I haven't seen Sucker Punch.
Well, Watchmen. I mean, that's still superhero, but that's kind of like different a little bit. Not like a traditional.
That's probably like his best film.
Yeah, I like. He definitely has like he definitely has a voice. Like you watch a movie and you're like, okay, like this is Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
He's not, which I gotta respect. But this didn't blow me away, to be honest. The trailer.
Yeah,
I was like, all right,
cool. Like I'm not like super like I'm gonna watch it, but is it like the most amazing thing in the world? No.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw. So there was like a spider creature in the trailer, like a big ass spider woman kind of thing.
Let's see.
I don't know. It was in that for a little bit, but the name of that character is Armada, which people think, and she's like the big villain, and people think it's like a dig at Walter Hamada because he kind of like kicked Zack Snyder out a little bit.
No, but he's not even war. I don't know.
Like the character's named Harmada, like it's like one letter off, and they're the big villain. I just thought it was, if that's like actual, like if that's like true, it's funny and it's petty.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks cool. The action doesn't look anything special.
Yeah.
Looks like, pretty good. I do like how the like lightsaber weapons look in this though. They look more like
they look more distinguished, like different.
Yeah, and they're kind of like unhinged a little bit. They're not like these perfect shaped swords that, you know, how they usually look in Star Wars. It kind of reminded me of like Kylo Ren's saber.
Well, yeah, in that realm. Wait, is this the woman with like the horns? Is this the woman?
No. Just look up Harmada. Look up Rebel Moon Armada. It's like Harmada. I don't know. She was in the trailer for like a little bit, but I just thought like the naming was funny.
No, it's not coming up.
I mean, it came up as soon as I looked it up. It's like the first picture. But whatever.
I keep getting the one with the horns.
Whatever, bro. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
whatever. Yeah.
What's it called? So yeah, I mean that guy that we mentioned before is in it also. The guy from Gran Turismo. He has
Oh, really?
the name, like the hard name to say, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think the cast is like big enough to.
Yeah, I mean, I
'Cause,
like Charlie Hunnam.
yeah, like they've got some solid players, but there's no like big name draw. There's no like Tom Cruise. There's no The
Yeah, I mean, it's a
Rock.
Netflix movie. They're not gonna get,
Yeah, but I could see it turning into something if they get good reviews and
I
good
mean,
Netflix
his
viewership.
fucking fandom is like, regardless if it's good or not, they're gonna,
Hmm. They're
you know,
insane.
yeah,
But all right, another trailer we got. One of my favorite directors, David Fincher, is releasing a new movie this year, also for Netflix. It's called The Killer, starring Michael Fassbender.
yeah.
Um, and I did like how the trailer itself didn't really show anything. Like, there's no like indication of what the plot is really,
Yeah.
besides the fact that
That he's
Michael
basically like
Fassbender's,
an assassin for hire.
yeah, he's just like playing an assassin.
Yeah.
So the trailer showed nothing, yet it still got me like very excited. I don't know
Yeah.
if you realize like how crazy Fincher's filmography is, and like
Isn't it
how
like,
how versatile he is. I don't know. He's like
what do you do?
not that he's underrated, but like to me, I was underrating him a lot. Um,
Did you do Social Network?
yeah, did the Social Network. Um, why is he not coming up? Looking him up.
Did you do Apocalypse Now?
No, bro. That's
Who's that? Who am I thinking of?
Francis Ford Coppola.
No.
Why is he not coming up on Letterboxd? Whatever. Yeah, no, he did Fight Club, Gone Girl, Seven, Social Network, Zodiac. Um, The Killer seems more in vein with something like Seven or Gone Girl.
Yeah.
Not as much with the Social Network. But
Yeah.
crazy how Netflix is getting like these big movies. I mean, they're known to get like they had like Marriage Story back in the day.
Yeah. I like Marriage Story.
They had The Irishman, Scorsese.
Yeah.
That was like a huge name, and they got Fincher. So
Yeah.
the one thing about Netflix that I know why a lot of filmmakers like working with them is
They let
they
them do whatever they want.
yeah, they don't give a fuck. They're just like, here's money. Like, you don't have to like, just because Netflix is so diverse in its content, they're like, you don't have to do anything a certain way. You know,
Yeah.
like Fincher would never, or Fincher or even Snyder, they wouldn't make a movie with Disney because Disney would
No.
be like, oh, you can only do it this way. You can't have
Yeah.
this. You can't do this.
I
You
mean,
know.
yeah.
But yeah, the trailer itself doesn't really give away too much. I know the movie comes out at the end of this year, so we'll definitely talk about it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, then there was still a couple more trailers. Ferrari, Michael
Yeah.
Mann's next movie, who you might know from a Heat. I don't know if you've seen that
No,
movie.
but I know that. Aren't they doing a sequel with Adam Driver?
Yeah, they are.
Is he
And this
playing the
is
same character? He's
I think he's playing like a younger version of De Niro's character or like Al Pacino's character. I don't know. I forget.
who's supposed to play versus him?
I don't know. I honestly have no idea about because the book Heat 2 like recently came out.
It's when
So
they're younger.
I don't know. I think so. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure because it's the only way that it makes sense because
yeah.
one of them dies at the end of the movie.
Or maybe it's just two different characters.
It could be. It could be. Or it could be like his son or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't like blown away by the movie. It was just like Heat at the
Isn't
time
at
it
the
came
time it
out.
was like a big deal, right?
It was crazy because it was like two of the biggest names in Hollywood, like Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, and facing them off against each other.
Yeah.
So it holds up pretty well. I know apparently they showed like clips of it to police force to show them like how to engage like in a shooting situation because like how realistic those scenes were, which is pretty crazy. Michael Mann is like a very well respected director. I don't
Yeah.
know like a lot of his filmography, but I just know he's like a big name in Hollywood. So anytime he's releasing a movie, it's like a big deal. But the trailer itself doesn't really show much, to be honest. It just shows like
It
Adam
doesn't really
Driver.
go. Yeah.
But it's about, I guess, the guy, like the founder of Ferrari, a biopic.
Yeah.
Which those are always, Oscar baity a little bit.
Yeah.
So this is probably gonna get some awards.
I heard it got like
Like
okay reviews.
Yeah. Which is never a good sign.
It actually premiered in the Venice Film Festival like this week.
Yeah, I know a couple things premiered there. Or we're getting like our first reviews of certain things. Poor Thing.
Your Poor Things, got phenomenal reviews. Emma Stone, like it said, like one of our best performance ever.
Yeah, she is like her greatest performance, and which is crazy to think about because she has some amazing performances. Yeah. And she's apparently going to be the front runner for Best Actress.
Yeah.
And that was I forgot when we said our most anticipated of the year. Like back.
That's your number one, right?
I'm pretty sure that was my number one. Yeah. Before I think it had a different name. Oh no, it was still called Poor Things back then. The Ari Aster one was the one that changed names.
Yeah. What was my number one?
Right. I think it was like the Mario movie, bro. I can't even lie.
That ass.
Or something. Yeah, I forgot.
Is that or Evil Dead 2?
Oh yeah, that might have been it. Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah, not Evil Dead 2. I'm sorry, Evil Dead Rise. But
yeah, I'm interested though in Ferrari. Adam Driver is like one of my favorite actors for sure.
Yeah,
he's up there. I know even Scorsese said before that Adam Driver is like the best actor working today, which is pretty high praise.
Pretty fair statement. A lot of people say that.
Yeah, but yeah, and then besides that, another trailer, Saltburn, which was one that I was looking forward to just because Barry Keoghan, he's getting some awards buzz as well. People are saying his performance is incredible in this.
And what's his name?
Jacob Elordi.
It was actually kind of I used to not. I didn't really like him in he's okay in Euphoria, but I mean, I heard he's great in Priscilla. Well, not Priscilla. What is it? Is that the movie? What is it? Priscilla? Yeah. I heard he's great in that, and I mean, this he looks good in too.
Yeah, he's moving up from. I mean, not that Euphoria is like schlock or anything, but
but he's getting like more and like.
I saw those
like
recently.
Awardy type of movies.
Yeah, like indie movies, and he recently met with there was like a picture of him getting lunch with Luca Guadagnino, the guy who did Call Me by Your Name and what's the one that came out last year with Timothée Chalamet? What? They're cannibals. What the fuck is it called?
Oh, Bones and All. Yeah,
he did that. So people think he might get cast in that. So yeah, he has Saltburn this year and also Priscilla.
I could picture him in one of those type of movies, honestly.
Mm-hmm. For sure. But yeah, he's getting a lot of buzz for his performance. The trailer doesn't look exactly what I expected. It seems like it's going to be like a drama where there's like a love triangle going on or something. Yeah. Barry Keoghan's character seems like he's maybe like a little bit poor, and then Jacob Elordi is like rich and he lives in this big like mansion and stuff.
Yeah.
And then Barry Keoghan sort of gets like sucked into this life, which could make for an interesting premise, especially with like such dynamic actors and actresses in the roles. I'm hyped that Barry Keoghan hopefully will get the recognition that he deserves, and people are gonna realize like how crazy that pull of him as Joker is for Matt Reeves.
Yeah. No, it wasn't after Killing a Sacred Deer. I saw it. I mean, I always knew he was a good actor, but like after watching that, I could see him being Joker. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. He's just such a great actor. He's probably in my top 5, to be honest. And not to be one of those people, but I knew him before he was even big yet.
Did you?
Before he was in Eternals and all that. I told you about him back in the day, for sure.
What was his early filmography?
American Animals is one. Killing a Sacred Deer. We said that was like one of his bigger earlier ones. I'm forgetting now. Let me see. Because I went back and checked out some of his older stuff when I like first was introduced to him. Hold on. For some reason, Letterboxd
he
is
was
like,
in what the fuck is it called? But Colin Farrell just won a bunch of awards.
oh, Banshees. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's great. He was great
yeah,
in
he was
Banshees.
awesome in that. Yeah,
Yeah, he's just like such a great actor,
yeah.
and he's young. But yeah, anyways, trailer looked interesting. You can't really tell much of what's gonna happen, but it seems like he's gonna like try to steal Jacob Elordi's girl or like what I don't know. It
I
seems
feel
like
like
it's gonna be
honestly, I got the impression that there's a romance going on between them.
yeah. I think I don't know. I remember when I was first reading about the movie, I saw something about some sort of like gay romance, but I couldn't really tell from the trailer.
I
It
don't. I
wasn't like
mean,
giving me that vibe.
I kind of. I felt like it alluded to that a little bit.
Yeah, but you see Jacob Elordi like making out with the girl, and then you see
No,
like
yeah, I know. It
Barry
could be
making
like a
out with
love
the girl in a
triangle.
different scene. Yeah, I mean I don't know. It's another one that's getting award buzz. We're gonna see a lot more of those like award buzz
Towards the end of the
movies
year, yeah.
coming out now. Some of them are gonna get delayed, but like Dune 2,
Yeah.
that which we'll get to. But
You know what's actually
yeah,
like a movie I didn't realize I was kind of excited for that I forgot about was the Lord
what?
of the Rings anime. It's like the War of Rodent something. I forgot what it was called.
Yeah.
That got delayed too.
I mean, I honestly am not the biggest Lord of the Rings fan, so and I'm not the biggest anime fan, so I like just have no interest in that.
I'm not like a big like like that type of fantasy fan, but like in that realm. But I do like if I like the Lord of the Rings the best out of all of them.
Mhm.
So I think it'd be interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be cool as long as like the animation's cool and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, keeping on this trailer train going. We got our
What else we got?
second FNAF trailer, our
Oh
second
yeah.
like big FNAF trailer,
I actually saw it at the theater today.
which it actually looks really good. Like I cannot
Yeah.
lie, bro.
I feel
And
like the
like
story is just very predictable though.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do, to
Like
be
it's
honest.
pretty. I just feel like what's gonna like the what the fuck's his name? Josh Hutcherson's character is gonna end up being like that animatronic in the taxi.
You think so?
Yeah, dude.
I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. That's the thing. I wouldn't like predict that, so I don't think it's predictable. I was gonna say remember the first trailer? I thought that was Springtrap, but it's actually not apparently.
No, I think it's like Golden Freddy.
No, it's like Spring Bonnie.
Oh, I don't know.
So basically, I was like looking into the lore a little bit. So
Isn't
apparently,
it adapt? Isn't it adapting like 3 of the games or something?
yeah, I think the first three games. So there was like an original establishment called like Fredbear's Family Diner, and there was two suits, which was Golden Freddy and uh, Spring Bonnie, which is like the golden version of Bonnie.
Yeah.
But the way that they worked was that they're suits, but they also had like a spring lock function, so they can function as animatronics as well. So you could
Oh
go in
yeah,
them, but they
I
could
remember
also
this a
like.
little bit.
So in the games, what happens is that
Wasn't like
Spring
the guy
Bonnie suit.
sweats.
That's like what William Afton goes in to kill kids. So he goes in that suit. In the games, he doesn't have a knife. I think it's cool how they like give him a knife in the
Yeah,
movie. It gives like more of like a slasher kind of element.
yeah.
But yeah, in the games, what happens is like he's either crying or like sweating or something, and like it causes the spring lock thing to malfunction, and it like basically crushes him inside the suit because it converts to animatronic form while he's still in it. And then
I
his
mean,
soul goes on to
that's gonna happen at probably at the end of the
which
movie.
yeah, I think that we're gonna see that happen, which will
Yeah,
be pretty sick. In the game, it's like
I didn't.
super
It's not gonna
bloody.
be. Yeah, it's not gonna be like that because it's PG-13.
Yeah. But I feel like because
I feel like they're definitely gonna show like in the shadow or something. They're gonna show like liquid come out of him.
yeah, but they planned for 3 films. Matthew Lillard signed on for 3 movies, so maybe he's probably gonna die in this one, but haunt that Springtrap costume for like the next 2 maybe and come back. Or they could do prequels. Like I don't know. We'll see.
I kind
I
of
think
like
it's
the security one would be good too. Honestly, that's the only one with like an actual plot.
Security Breach.
Yeah.
Yeah, the new one. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like they got to do the classic first. I'm just like getting more and more hype for the movie. Like you see the attention to detail, like on the suits, is sick.
Like I remember I sent you the thing on Twitter. Like at Halloween Horror Nights at Universal right now, they have like this Blumhouse exhibit of like all like props from other movies, and they have the actual like animatronics that they use, and like the attention to detail is like so. Like I didn't realize like how authentic it actually looks.
Yeah, definitely. It looks sick.
Yeah,
And I like how
you
they're
think
just
it's gonna
going
make a
with.
lot of money?
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna make a shit ton of money, I think.
Really? I don't know, dude.
Bro, I think like Megan made how much? Like 150 mil or something.
Yeah, but this is I think is a way higher budget.
I
I
don't
see
know.
FNAF budget.
Bro, it's one of the biggest IPs like nowadays, especially to kids. I think it's gonna make a lot of money.
Oh, it was 25 million. The budget.
Like,
Oh, okay,
yeah,
never mind.
like it's going straight to Peacock, but like who the fuck has Peacock? Like it's
I
not
know,
like a
like I dead ass. I bought the fucking. I'm going to Universal's, like the Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando, and I bought the ticket. And when you buy it, they dead ass give you a free 6 months of Peacock. I feel like they
yeah,
just like they're so desperate to get people on it.
I know. Did you like get that yet? Because I might actually
I
want to
got
use
I got
Peacock
I got activated.
just for
It's in
the
my
office.
email. Yeah, I mean, like just
But yeah. Anyways, I'm like surprised by how good this is looking as we're getting closer. And like I mentioned before about video game movies, it's another one.
I mean, they're gonna do the God of War
Yeah, that
TV
that
show,
will be
right?
sick when we get our first like news about that.
Yeah.
Obviously, news has been very slow because the strikes still going on. But yeah, I wanted to move on though to the final trailer, and then we'll get on to a couple other things.
Yeah.
Was for the Bikeriders, which is one we've heard a lot about. Another one that's gonna get award buzz probably. It's about some sort of like biker gang or some conflict with bikers or I don't know something. Sorry, but the cast is very good. Austin Butler, Jodie Comer, Tom Hardy.
Yeah, it looks really good. Who
Nor-
plays like his girlfriend or his wife?
Jodie Comer.
Oh.
She's one that's starting to get more popular nowadays. People were like she was in the running, I think, for Sue Storm at a point.
What
Her
else
name
is
was
she
getting
in?
thrown around. I know her from The Last Duel, Ridley Scott's movie that came out a couple of years ago. But she's also in Free Guy. Oh yeah, she plays like the love interest in Free Guy. I don't know if you've seen Free Guy.
No, I haven't seen it.
Apparently, she's in Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Probably as like a cameo or some shit. Cause I don't remember seeing her in there. But she's like another one that's like sort of up and coming now. That's starting to get in a lot of bigger films. I'm hyped to see Norman Reedus though, from Walking Dead fame. Those of you guys who love Daryl
Oh yeah,
Dixon.
I forgot. He's in. Is he in this? I mean,
He
he's from
wasn't
The
in the
Walking Dead.
trailer. He wasn't in the trailer, but he's in the
I
movie.
remember reading that he was in it. Yeah, but this is
So,
like in his like style. He does like these type of movies, right?
yeah. His thing is he rides motorcycles, so it was like perfect casting, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It looks good. I wasn't like blown away by the trailer or anything. So Austin Butler looks cool in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we can move on to the only bit of actual news.
Actually, there's something else I didn't realize we could talk about. I don't know if you saw, the writers of the Last of Us TV show wrote a script for a Pirates of the Caribbean movie, and they apparently like Disney really liked it, and they were gonna move forward, and then obviously the writer's strike. But I mean, that would be pretty sick, honestly.
I just can't see them doing it without Johnny Depp. They need Jack Sparrow in there.
And nah, they could fucking make up another pirate, dude. He's like,
Yeah,
I love, like, obviously Johnny Depp is iconic in that role, but like, what's like a real characteristic you can name about that character? Like, he's just like a generic ass like pirate.
I feel like not. I mean, it's just like the way
It's
that
just
Johnny
because,
Depp portrays the
yeah.
character.
No, I'm not taking anything anyway. Like, I'm not taking anything away from like his performance. He's obviously fantastic in the role. But I'm saying like it's not like I don't know. I
Yeah,
feel like it's not.
I know that originally it was like speculation that there's going to be a female lead, and they were trying to get Margot Robbie to do it. I think she's since moved past the project.
Yeah, no, she's not
But
attached. I mean, she's got now. I'm sure Barbie's gonna do it. Actually, I don't even know if she would do a Barbie sequel. Honestly,
she probably would. They're definitely going to do something, bro. It made the highest grossing movie this year. Made like 1.4 billion
yeah.
or something.
What
They're
else?
definitely going to try to do something. But
I mean, yeah, I guess.
yeah, but
I mean, she
honestly,
might be like,
as great of an actress as she is, she's not really a big box office pull. Aside
yeah,
from
no.
Barbie, this was like her first hit. So now maybe she'll be able to start getting bigger things, you know?
I mean, I feel like
Um,
she's in pretty like not like amazing movies, but pretty big movies. Like she's in Suicide Squad. That was like a big ass movie.
yeah, yeah. That Suicide Squad and Barbie are like her only two like box office successes.
Yeah, Babylon
Just
tanked. What
yeah.
else? Yeah,
Um,
I don't know how I, Tonya did.
I don't think it did well particularly. But whatever. I mean, obviously
Yeah,
she's a great actress.
yeah,
I hope they go reach back out to her and ask her to do this Pirates movie. That might get me interested. But
yeah.
yeah, but I did want to talk about Dune 2 getting delayed, which I mentioned before. So, as you guys all know by now, writers and actors are still striking, which at this point is getting ridiculous. Like the studios are losing more money by delaying these movies than it would cost to just like pay the
Yeah,
like agree to what SAG and whatever
the
the
other
other one is.
organizations want.
I forget what it's called.
Do you see like how much what they're asking for is like point zero like 0.04 or something percent of like their net worth for their contract.
I feel like it has to be like more complicated than that because like why would they not just agree to it by now?
Because I don't think it's like wages. I think it has more to do with like incentives and stuff and streaming because like that's where they're gonna make all their money.
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna figure something out eventually. It's just like
I mean, they're definitely all gonna get like raises in healthcare. Like that's definitely on the board. But like, I doubt they're fighting over that. I mean, unless they're like fucking evil fucking corporate. You know what I mean? Like, we're
yeah.
gonna deny people healthcare.
Mhm. It's just I don't know. It's just like annoying at this point.
Yeah. It
Like
sucks for everybody involved.
yeah. It sucks for the fans because you get like these movies aren't coming out, movies aren't filming. It sucks for the writers and actors because they're not getting paid fairly.
Yeah.
It sucks for the studios because they can't release anything, so they can't make money either. So it's just like, just figure this shit out, bro.
Just fucking
But
pay them, dude.
yeah, Dune
No.
was supposed to release what, November,
Yeah.
and now it's getting delayed till next March. Which I
Yeah.
think it would have been up there. It probably would have been. I think it was going to be the best movie of this year, if not like
It
top
could have
5.
been.
Um, but I don't know. They moved that, and then they basically put that movie where the next Godzilla vs Kong movie was, and then they pushed the Godzilla vs Kong movie, which is whatever. But they're still keeping a couple things. They're keeping Wonka this year.
Well, yeah, that's another trailer we missed actually.
No, I think we talked about it. A couple.
No, not Wonka. Godzilla -1.
Oh, I didn't even want. Why? What was that about?
It's like the new like Toho like release God. So like the studio that released Shin Godzilla.
Yeah.
It's like the next Godzilla film that they released. It's like a different like iteration of it. It's
I
supposed to
mean,
be
I
like
didn't see the trailer. I
the
don't know.
plot is supposed to be like it's like directly after like post World War II, so like Japan's like decimated, like destroyed, and then Godzilla shows up. He said like it's called Godzilla -1 because it's supposed to be like what happens if like Godzilla shows up and like their military is like destroyed.
Oh,
Basically, that's
that's
like the
interesting.
concept of it. Yeah, I mean the visuals look really good. There's some really cool shots in the trailer.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out for sure.
Yeah,
But yeah, so you wanna this well, it's kind of a weird. It's hard to transition this, but you wanna talk about the live action One Piece came
yeah.
out. So I watched an episode with you, and I actually
I
liked
ended up.
it. I
Yeah,
it was a lot better than I expected, and I think the trailers didn't do it justice.
yeah,
And I'm not even like a big fan of One Piece or anime in general, and I actually enjoyed the first episode. I know you went ahead and like finished the series because you're a big
yeah.
fan,
I
so I'll let
I
you
really
take
enjoyed
the
it.
reins here.
I mean, they're pretty accurate to the anime and the manga. Like, it's honestly like extremely accurate. Like to lines of dialogue, to outfits, to set. Like, they didn't shy away from any of that. And One Piece is like, it's a super like goofy anime. Like people have like different color hairs and like it's like fishmen. Like it's very like out there, and they didn't shy away from any of that. And I mean, I think it's doing good. It's number one. I know it broke the record for like number one in like most countries in the world or something like that.
Yeah, it's definitely doing well, like well enough that shows other Netflix shows with like similar budgets had gotten renewed with like numbers that this is having. So it seems like they're gonna continue
Yeah,
with it, which is
yeah,
I mean, it's good. It's good to it's always good to see like original, not that it's original, but new shows being continued and not just being
yeah,
chopped after one season because
yeah.
you never know how it could develop. And it's also
No,
like
and there's
the
like
se-
so much good material ahead.
and the second season is bound to be just as good, if not better than the first, because the people who are doing it can see like, okay, this is we released
But
it. The
not even that.
fans
Like
didn't
the
like
whole,
this.
they don't even have to write the story. Like the story's there already. All they have to
No,
do
but
is basically just like translate it.
yeah, but it's just like they can see what people reacted to positively and what people reacted to
Yeah,
negatively and
that's fair.
incorporate that into the next season. Because you
Yeah,
never know until the audience actually watches it. Like, you know,
yeah. I didn't honestly. I didn't have like too many complaints about it. I mean, the CGI really wasn't bad. Honestly, most of the shots were pretty good. The action was honestly a lot better than I expected.
yeah. What do you think
One of
about
them,
how Luffy's powers were shown?
they make him more in the line of like acrobatic and stretchy. Like he uses it way more in the anime. But like obviously, I know for like a live action thing, they're not. It's they have a budget. Like they can't just make him fucking swing around all the time.
Hmm.
So I mean, I
So
still
the show's 8 episodes, right?
yeah. It adapts like the first 60 something episodes of the show.
Wow, I thought it
Yeah.
would be more than that, to be
No,
honest, because it's like 1,000 episodes.
no. It's like the first, and they missed out on like a bunch of shit in this. Like, not like super important stuff, but like there's a lot of plot elements that they didn't even cover.
What do you think about all the casting?
I thought the guy who plays him, I think his name is Iñaki Adoy or something like that.
Hmm.
He's like fantastic. He's like
I
he's like so similar to the character, like same energy. Like
Yeah, I
it
know
looks like him.
people are like everyone that's saying good things about the show. Everyone's saying like Luffy is the best part. His
Yeah.
character's on the best. What do you think about the other cast members though? Because they're
They're
kind
all
of like who's the guy like Usopp or something?
Usopp, yeah.
He wasn't introduced in episode 1 that I
No,
watched,
no.
but when I was like looking at compare, he like looks the least like his character in the show, right? Because that
Yeah, because in
giant
the show he
nose.
has like a big ass nose. Like a cartoonish nose. But like obviously they're not gonna do that in
You think he
live
still
action.
felt like similar to the
Hmm.
character?
Yeah. They gave him like a little more of like a backstory in this. I mean
And
not like
how
not
about
let the
the villain?
Arlong. I mean he was fine. Like I like he's way I think he's a lot more intimidating in uh the anime. I actually like so like in the anime, Garp. Did you meet Garp in this or no?
Warp? I think so.
Yeah.
At the end of the first episode, I think he shows up. He's like on the
So
phone with
like
someone.
yeah. So he's like another. He basically like replaces another villain in this arc. Like he takes the place of him, and wait, well, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. What were you saying about him?
Garp, you were saying.
What about him?
Oh, I was asking you about the villain, and then you started talking about Garp.
Oh yeah, because he's like one of the side villains of the I apologize. Of like there's another villain in that arc called Smoker that they tease at the end of the season. That basically replaces the part of Garp in the anime. Like he like confronts him at the end of basically Arlong Park, like right at the end. But they just kind of swapped characters. But I don't know what they're gonna do with him in season 2.
Yeah, I guess they want to like switch it up a little bit so that you're
Yeah.
not like just seeing exactly what you've seen before,
Yeah.
But
The
yeah,
sword fight actually, there's a sword fight I believe in episode 5 that's like fantastic. It's like
was it with
so accurate to the
Zoro or no?
Zoro and this guy Mihawk. He's like he in that show he's like the greatest swordsman in the world.
Cool. Was there like a lot of characters introduced, or is it or like most of the main ones, or is there still like a couple big ones that weren't shown
No,
yet?
like most of the main ones they introduced. There's some like side characters that they didn't show, but they're in for like 2 episodes, like not important people.
So how do you think they're gonna handle Chopper?
My ideal look would be how like Detective Pikachu looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's not like impossible. I don't know what they're gonna do.
Because he looks like pretty insanely ridiculous and like that.
Yeah,
Not like bad, but just like I can't even imagine how they would do that in live action.
yeah. I don't know if you know, but Jamie Lee Curtis is like a huge One Piece fan,
Mm-hmm.
and they want her to play. I forgot her name, but it's basically like the person who teaches Chopper, like because Chopper in the anime is a doctor. Like she's like a doctor and like teaches Chopper how to be a doctor, basically.
Wait, is he like a person? What is he?
He's a reindeer, but he ate a devil fruit called I think it's called the Nomi Nomi fruit. No, not Nomi. I forgot what it's called. I I forgot. It's some type of fruit basically that it makes. It just basically gives him the ability to like speak. But
Yeah,
like what
I can
happens
see.
is that like once he is able to speak, like all his reindeer and like his group like abandon him because they think he's like a freak.
And then he just becomes a doctor.
It's like more I don't know, like there's more to the backstory. I don't remember exactly
Yeah,
how, but it's
I'm
honestly
sure.
very sad his backstory.
Damn, the saddest backstory in fiction, and he looks like that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, what do you think overall about live action anime adaptations?
Usually
Do you
for the
like
most part I don't like them because I feel like
or them as an idea? Like, do you think they could work, or do you think they're necessary, or no?
I mean like it shouldn't be necessary, but I feel like it is to reach a Western audience. Like because I feel like in the United, especially in the US, like many people like will not see animated movies because they think it's like for kids.
Yeah, I know that's beginning to change
It's
now,
starting
but
to change now. It's not as bad as it used to be, but like, like it. So to interpret into live action is kind of disrespecting the source material to begin with because it's intended to be animated. You know what I
mhm.
mean?
Yeah,
So I mean, this is the best I've seen out of any adaptation. I feel like it's pretty unanimous that people are saying that, and people are starting to have hope for the live action Avatar now.
yeah, because Netflix is also doing that. So
Yeah.
that comes out soon, though, right? This year or no?
No, February 24. Are you
Oh,
gonna watch that?
uh, I mean, maybe I'll do the same kind of thing. Watch the
Yeah.
first episode, and we'll see.
You should watch. I would like you to watch like the whole season. I want to see what you think of it.
Of One Piece?
Yeah, I know you probably won't, but
Maybe I will. We'll see. I just got a lot of
yeah,
shit on my plate for now.
yeah.
I've been, I obviously like I've got a bunch of movies I want
I'm
to
sure
watch,
like
but
when we get towards 2024, there's not gonna be shit coming out. So,
yeah, I still got to watch Game of Thrones. I've been trying to get through
yeah.
it for like the past 3 years.
Did you watch House of Dragon or no?
No, because I want to like be up to date with everything. But I just finished season 2 of Game of Thrones like a month ago.
But you
I
don't
haven't.
really like honestly. I didn't finish Game of Thrones, and like I watched House of Dragon, and I pretty much knew everything. Like that it was.
Yeah, no, I know it's like explaining the backstory of the Targaryens, like their family and everything.
Yeah,
But I just like I want to like get through the main show.
yeah. Matt
but
Damon's like man, really really good in it.
or not Matt Damon. What's his
Not Matt
face?
Damon, sorry, Matt
Matt Smith.
Smith.
Yeah, I've heard. He apparently might be Mr. Fantastic. So
Yeah,
whatever. Anyways,
yeah,
I wanted to talk. I know you haven't been keeping up with it, but Ahsoka on
yeah,
Disney Plus. The first 4 episodes were released, and like there's like the general public has very little faith in the Star Wars brand at this point, especially with like Boba Fett
yeah,
coming out and like Mando season 3 just going to shit compared to like
yeah.
what season 1 and 2 were. But this show has been surprisingly great. The thing that I like about Star Wars is I like Jedi and Sith and like fighting with lightsabers and like that shit is just
Yeah, like
like the
leaning
most like
into like the Star Wars
yeah
elements, like what
yeah like these big lightsaber duels and using the Force, and Ahsoka has a lot of that. Like she wields 2 lightsabers herself, and I don't know if in every episode, but at least 3 of the 4 she has these big like lightsaber duels.
Yeah,
Um, but the show itself is pretty good. Like it's a story that doesn't really have a lot of filler. They're basically trying to I don't know like the backstory with Rebels or the Clone Wars. I haven't
yeah.
watched the
Don't
shows.
give away too much. 'Cause I still want. I'm probably gonna watch it on my flight. Honestly,
Yeah, no, I won't give away too much. There is a big spoiler actually at the end of episode 4.
is it something
But
that I know or not?
well, did you watch Rebels or Clone Wars or anything?
No. I feel like I know what it is.
No, there's like there's a couple big things,
Is it
but
like that dude showing that fucking Jedi?
I have no comment. Someone shows up. That's all I'll say.
It's
But I'm not
okay.
saying. But yeah, the
Is
story's
it
based.
okay?
What? No,
No, it's like is it like set in present day with the person that shows up?
bro. I'm not saying nothing, bro.
All right.
I don't even. What do you mean? I don't. What do you mean? Is it set in present day?
Like, is it in a flashback that the person shows up or no?
Nah, I have no comment. I have no comment.
Okay.
I'll just wait and
Because
see.
all right.
But what's it called? What was I saying? Oh yeah. So basically, the story is like there's this Jedi Ezra, and then there's the guy Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Yeah.
And I think at the end of either Rebels or Clone Wars, one of the two, I think it was Rebels, they end up both like supposedly dying or something. But then they find out Grand Admiral Thrawn is alive. So these evil people are trying to pull up to him to get him. And then like Ahsoka is trying to go there to get Ezra because he might be alive.
Yeah.
But it turns out that like Thrawn is in another galaxy. So like separate, like everything, all the Star Wars movies, everything has happened in one galaxy, which is obviously expansive. It's huge, but there's another galaxy that's completely separate, which obviously leads to speculation. Why would they introduce this other galaxy? Are they gonna sort
I
of
see
soft
people
reboot everything?
I see
Maybe.
people like talking about that, like, and people get annoyed. Like, but I feel like that's so stupid. Like, a galaxy far, far. Like, there's supposed to be other galaxies. Like, it makes sense.
Yeah, but it's just that all the Star Wars that we know has taken place in one galaxy, and now you're told
I
that
feel
there's
like
another.
this gives us the chance to explore things that we haven't done in Star Wars before. They could do like a fucking universe where like they do like I don't think they would, but I'm saying like in this universe, like man, all R-rated shit, like fucking like you could be a lot more
Well,
creative if you have different universes. You don't have to worry about like overlapping like continuity and stuff. It's a blank canvas basically.
yeah, yeah. No, yeah. I'm just saying. I don't have like any. It depends how they use it. But I'm asking, like, do you think they're gonna use it as like a soft reboot?
I kind of
Maybe.
hope so, honestly. I hope so. I feel like that'd be really cool.
Yeah, it would be cool. Some people online are saying they might use it as like a multiverse kind of thing. Like maybe in this universe it'll be all the same except for slight differences. Like, oh, there's an
I don't
Anakin
like that.
Skywalker, but he's actually good. Shit like that. I mean, I don't
I
know.
mean, I don't know if I like that. I kind
I
of
don't
like
know.
the
It's just
idea of it just being
like
like
it's such.
completely different.
Yeah, it's such a big plot point that it's like they had to introduce it for a reason.
Yeah,
They're definitely planning to do something. And I don't know if you saw this, but Episode 5 is getting like a limited release in theaters,
yeah, I did see that actually.
which
That's
means
nuts,
that
bro.
it must be crazy. Like there must be something crazy to
Yeah,
happen that they want to get people in theaters to see it.
you know what's nuts is like Dave Filoni. This is like Dave Filoni's like first live action Like this is like his
I mean,
directorial
he's done
debut.
Mandalorian stuff, I think. But
Has he?
he didn't direct the last episode. He just wrote it.
Oh yeah.
He wrote the whole series, but I don't know
I
if.
know he's a good writer. Like I mean, he's a good Star Wars writer.
Mhm. But the last episode that happened, people are like raving about it online. Ahsoka was like the number one trending. And Disney finally decided to change their release schedule. So now the episodes release 9 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesday instead of 3 a.m. on Wednesday, which is how they used to
That's
be.
so nice.
So you could like, it's sort of like an event kind of thing. Everyone watches the episode at 9 and then like people go and talk about it on Twitter. It's just like raises popularity in the series.
I never understood why they didn't do that.
Yeah,
It
was
never
just
made
so
sense to
stupid.
me. Yeah.
Because it like prevents the episodes from trending on Twitter. Because who's staying up till 3 a.m. to watch it?
Yeah.
I remember when WandaVision was releasing. I was in college. I was like in my sophomore years. I was staying up till 3 to watch them, but it would be like Friday or Thursday morning at 3
Yeah.
a.m. But it was when my classes were remote, so I was just like, whatever. Like I'll stay up and
Yeah.
watch
You're like
them.
fuck it. Yeah.
But like, who is realistically doing that? Like,
It's
no
supposed to be
one.
because the release is like at midnight, like in Pacific time.
Yeah, but whatever. Anyways, well,
Yeah.
the next time we record, I think the season will be done. I don't know. Is it 6 episodes?
I think so. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. Maybe you'll catch up.
Yeah. I
Um,
will. I just like haven't got the chance. Especially that people saying it's good. I'm definitely gonna watch it.
mhm. But yeah. Now I want to move on to our top 10 list for this week, which I recommended last episode.
Yeah.
I recommended us to break down our top 10 war films. I know you told me that you're not the biggest fan
Yeah. I'm
of
not a.
war
So
movies.
I've only like I can only think of five. So I don't know if you want to
All
say
right.
your first five and then we could go back.
Yeah. I'll say my first five, and then we could go back and forth.
Yeah.
But I'm actually a big fan of war movies, surprisingly. I mean, not I guess not
No,
surprisingly,
I mean, like,
but
listen, it's just for me. It's not for me.
yeah. Um. So yeah. So for my number 10, I had American Sniper, which is starring Bradley Cooper. It's like a
Yeah.
true story about this Navy SEAL that I don't. It actually is a pretty good movie.
I heard
Like
it's like it kind of
it,
like there's something about it. I forgot what the term is. It like romantic. Oh yeah, that was it. Like romanticizes war a little bit.
yeah, it like romanticizes being a soldier. It's like, oh, this, it's this. You're I mean, it's our soldiers are like heroes, but
No,
it's
I
just
mean,
like,
yeah,
like there's nothing like cool about war. I don't.
yeah.
I like when movies display war as being like
How
brutal
it? Yeah,
and
it's
terrible
not exactly. Yeah,
because it should be the last resort. It shouldn't be like, oh, I really want to be a soldier so I can go out to war.
yeah,
Which this movie did do a little bit. I think Bradley Cooper had a great performance,
yeah.
but overall, it's on the lower end of my ranking.
Okay.
Then at 9, I had The Hurt Locker, which was directed by Catherine Bigelow, and it has like a pretty good cast.
I don't know
Jeremy
if I
Renner, Anthony Mackie. I think it actually won Best Picture, or at least was nominated.
really.
Yeah,
Wow.
but I just like it's about like a bomb squad, and those scenes with like the bombs are very like intense, and there's a couple like crazy scenes in the movie, but I just wasn't really like blown away by it overall. Like I walked out feeling like not walked out, but I like finished the movie and I was like, all right, that was like fine. I think Jeremy Renner does pretty good. He's
Yeah.
one of my favorite actors as well. Um, but yeah, then 8 I had Christopher Nolan directed Dunkirk, which is probably my least favorite Nolan. Either this or Batman Begins.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that it was bad. I just like never really like invested myself in the story.
Yeah.
And I just like I don't really have much to say about it. I was like, it was okay. It's fine. It's like a
Yeah.
fine war film. And yeah, so that was 8. 7, I had the movie Brothers. I don't know if you've heard of it. but it's the one that stars Tobey Maguire, Jake
Oh,
Gyllenhaal, and Natalie Portman.
yes.
The one where like Tobey
I know,
Maguire.
like, I've seen like multiple scenes of it. I know
Yeah,
the
so
premise of it. Yeah.
yeah, so it's like Tobey Maguire's a soldier. He goes off to war. He
Or
ends
his
up getting
brother,
like
like,
kidnapped. He ends up getting kidnapped, and he's
and
like
like he has
presumed
to like
dead.
kill his like
He's
he's
yeah,
like kill people in his own army and
he's
stuff.
like forced to kill people like in his unit by these terrorists, and like
Yeah.
it's like super. The scenes are like very dark. Tobey Maguire's fantastic, and Jake Gyllenhaal's really good. And like
Yeah.
Natalie Portman, she's like my favorite actress, so I'll love anything she's in. There's that famous scene where Tobey Maguire like destroys his entire kitchen. Have you seen
Yeah.
that?
Yes. Yes.
Um, but
And
yeah,
the scene
basically
with him, like when he runs outside with the cops and stuff.
he's like presumed dead, and then like his wife was Natalie Portman. She gets like very close with his brother, and he like comes back with all this PTSD, and he thinks that I'm not gonna say what actually went down and what didn't because I want you to watch it eventually. But
Yeah.
like Tobey Maguire basically gets the idea that like maybe something was going on between his brother and his wife. So
Yeah.
and it ends up getting like messy. Um, and then number 6, you mentioned it before, but Apocalypse Now, Francis Ford
Yeah.
Coppola directed. Not his best movie. Um, but another one very dark, just shows like how horrific war is. Um, it's like a haunting film. Has great performances all around. Um, and yeah, I know people like claim this to be a masterpiece, but I don't really see it that way. The
Yeah.
characters I think are just like forgettable. Besides the main guy, and Marlon Brando like comes in at the end and he plays like he's not in it for long, but he has like a very cool and like notable role.
Yeah.
Um, they actually, it's interesting. They for this movie they actually like killed. There's a scene where they kill a cow, and like they actually killed a cow for the movie.
Really?
It's like really, it's like graphic. They like chop its head
Jesus.
off, and I
Lots of lie. God damn, dude.
that scene always like stuck with me. Even though it's not like necessarily like the war aspect of it, but yeah.
Just the brutality of like
Mm-hmm.
the world, basically.
Yeah. So that was 6. All right, so I'll do 5, and then you could do your 5, and we'll go
Yeah.
back. So 5 for me is a movie called Platoon. Um, it's about the Vietnam War, and it has a really really good cast. Willem Dafoe, Charlie
Oh, I've seen
Sheen.
clips of that. Is that the thing of like him smoking a cigarette and like blowing it out of the gun?
Yeah, they like smoke weed out of like a gun for
Oh,
part of it.
yeah.
Um, Johnny Depp's in it, like a very young Johnny Depp. There's a bunch of. It's like a very famous movie. There's a lot of famous scenes in it. Um, I just thought that, like the depictions of the battles were done very well. It was like very realistic.
Yeah.
Um, the acting was fantastic, and there's like a huge plot point where it's like the soldiers they're like at war with Vietnam, obviously, but they're also kind of like at war with each other within their own like groups.
Yeah.
Just very interesting stuff, like character study kind of stuff. Definitely recommend.
Like what war does to people.
Hmm. So yeah, what'd you have as 5?
I had Dunkirk as 5. Honestly, I fucking barely remember it. I watched it like 5 years ago.
Would you rate
But
that?
like 3.5.
All right, yeah, I gave it a 3. I didn't think it was
Yeah, I
crazy.
really like for me to like a war movie, it has to be like I really don't like them, so for me to like it's gotta be pretty good.
All right, so for 5, have a classic, Saving Private Ryan. It's hard to not include
Yeah.
this on my list. Directed by Spielberg, obviously, starring Tom Hanks as the lead, Matt
I remember
Damon.
watching the D-Day scene as a kid, and like it made me mad
Yeah,
fucking sad, dude.
that's one of like the greatest depictions of war in any movie. That
Yeah.
scene, it's such a famous scene, and the story itself obviously is good. Spielberg's direction goes a long way.
Yeah, no.
As well as obviously Tom Hanks' performance. It's just what can I say about it that hasn't been said already? It's like such a classic film. So
Yeah.
yeah, and surprised that I was surprised when I was making this that I had 3 that I liked more. So yeah,
Yeah.
what about you? What was your 4?
Before I had a Full Metal Jacket.
I've actually never
Um
seen that.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't wa From what I remember, it was an. I don't know. I just didn't really enjoy it. But I don't like war films, so like I don't know.
Did you ever see Tropic Thunder?
No.
Okay, that kind of like makes fun of war a bit, but I feel like
Yeah, I
you'll
do
like
want to. I do. I've seen the scenes with like Tom Cruise. Like that looks funny.
it. Yeah, what war is that? Full Metal Jacket? Do you know? Do you remember?
I don't. I
Is it
forgot.
World War II or no?
I don't think it's World War II.
All right.
Look it
Um,
up.
yeah, get back to me on that one, and I'll get into my top three. Third place for me was the movie 1917. It's directed by Sam Mendes, who also directed one of my favorite movies ever, American Beauty. And this movie's famous because it appears to all be within one shot, similar to how Birdman is. There's like no
Yeah.
cuts.
Oh really?
And you're following these two soldiers, and you think that one's going to be the main character up until a point, and then like he dies, and then you follow the other guy. And
Damn, why'd you spoil it?
well, oh sorry, but it happens within like the first 10 minutes
Oh,
anyway.
okay.
Um, but yeah, it like differentiates itself from most other war movies with how it's shot, and
Yeah.
the whole one take thing. It's like it makes sense for a movie. Like it has to have some sort of narrative purpose. For this, it's like you're following this guy's journey, and it's very hectic, so it's all just happening all at once. Like
Yeah.
you're with him this whole time. You're experiencing everything that he's experiencing. Um, the performance is great by George McKay. The only problem with the movie though is like it does feel like a little bit of style over substance at points. Like the story isn't
Mhm.
that great. It takes place during World War One, but a lot of times I felt like they have the great cinematography and like these grand shots and all in one take, but it's like
Yeah.
for at what cost? Sometimes it makes it harder to tell a story when you're doing it all in one take. You know, so. But yeah, very great movie. That was number three for me.
Me, I had Saving another one, Saving Private Ryan, number three. I just remember like that scarring me as a kid.
hmm Yeah, and then my second, which I was surprised by this, but um, All Quiet on the Western Front, which released last year. It
I
was
do want to
nominated
see that. I still haven't
for
seen
Best
it.
Picture. It's in German. It takes place during World War One, and it's one that basically it follows. It doesn't follow the U.S. Um,
Oh, it's on the German side. I didn't know that.
no, it follows. What's it called? Yeah, it follows the German soldiers. And it's like at the beginning, it shows them like so excited, they're ready to be soldiers, and they're hyped to enlist, and then when they actually go into war and like experience their first battle, it's like complete like shell shock for them, and they like the the main guy, like his friends die in front of him, and like or a couple of his friends die, and like soldiers are all dying around him, and like it just shows what it was like back then, because we nowadays we know better. We're not gonna fall for like propaganda because we have social media. Like we know what war is, and like we know
Yeah.
what it means to be a soldier. But like back then, there was all this propaganda about being a hero, and like so all these like German boys basically were insanely hyped, and then they just go into war.
Yeah.
Um, what's it
I
called?
like when movies like actually just like you said how they describe war like realistically.
Yeah, and it shows that like there's a couple scenes where it's like I don't want to spoil it too much because I want you to watch it. But there's like this one scene where it's like the German soldier and American soldier that are just like two like boys, and they're both just they have like this interaction with each other that's like just like horrifying in a way. It's like
Yeah.
terrible, you know. Um, but I feel like movies like that really stick with you, where it shows like how horrible something can
Horrible
be,
war
you
is,
know.
yeah.
So yeah, what'd you have for two?
Two, I had Inglorious Bastards. I haven't watched
Nice.
that in a while, but it's that cast. I love Brad Pitt. I like the scene with him. Well, he has to pretend to speak Italian.
Oh yeah. I didn't that would have been up there. I just didn't really that didn't like feel like a war movie to me. I know it like
Well,
takes
I
place
mean,
during World War II.
it technically is, I guess.
Yeah, it technically is, but there wasn't like a lot of like soldier warfare
No,
scenes,
it wasn't like, yeah. It was like a comedy.
Hmm. But yeah, definitely a great movie.
Yeah.
Um, but then to go to my number one, you've probably seen this coming just because it's one of my favorite movies ever. But it's the movie Come and See.
Yeah.
It's a Russian movie, and it's about this this basically young boy named his name's like Floria or something,
Hmm.
and he lives in Belarusia, and they're invaded by German forces, and he basically has to like join the
Yeah.
resistance. It's during World War II, and it just shows like him as a boy, like his journey going through this war, and it shows like how horrible war is. People like the movie, like watching the movie is like watching a nightmare.
Yeah.
Just by the way it's shot, like the way that there's these close-ups on his face, and how like horrified the actor does a phenomenal job, especially as being such a young boy.
Yeah.
But the thing that was interesting about the movie to me is like when I was looking into how it was made and stuff, they had like live rounds on set, and there's like this is another one. There's a scene where like they kill a cow, but this time they like shoot the cow, and they actually kill like an actual cow instead of
Jesus.
like not this time they didn't slice his head off or anything, but like
Yeah,
the
still.
emotions of the actors on set are like real because they were firing live rounds. And there's a scene at the end of the movie that's just like so disturbing that it still has stuck with me to this day, that involves like I don't want to say too much, but it's this is like the
Yeah.
Holocaust going on. So it's something with like a bunch of innocent Jewish children, I'll say. I'm not going to say
Yeah.
what goes down, but that movie to me is basically like the perfect description of how horrible
War
war
is.
is,
Yeah.
So, yeah. What you got? What's your number one?
For number one, I have Hacksaw Ridge. It's probably my favorite Andrew Garfield performance. It's just like that has some very good action scenes as well. Like in describing how war, like the way war is. Have you seen Hacksaw Ridge?
No, that's one that I definitely like have to get to. It's on my list
So,
for sure.
so the plot is basically he wants to join the war, but he won't carry a gun. Like he wants to be like a medic. He refuses to carry a gun, and like it's just basically how like all his like generals and everybody basically just shits on him because he like doesn't want to hold a weapon and stuff. Like his whole platoon like hates him, and then like something happens and he ends up like being like really crucial. I'm not gonna spoil the movie, but
Yeah.
it's very
Yeah, no,
good.
it seems like such a great premise, and obviously Andrew Garfield is what's it called? Is a great
Yeah,
actor,
great
as we
actor.
know.
Yeah,
But all right, yeah. I mean, hopefully, you're gonna recommend the next list, so hopefully you get something that's more than 5 movies.
yeah.
But yeah, all right. So we can move on then to the movie that you recommended last week. If you want to introduce it.
So I recommended The Sound of Music, and I actually recommended it because I'm actually going to Europe tomorrow, actually, and we're going to Austria. Me and my girlfriend. It's one of the parts we're going. And this is like basically the most famous thing to happen in Austria. I feel like, and it's like such a famous movie.
Well, I
Like
could
I
think of
always,
a couple other famous things that happened there, but continue.
I mean, I meant like like in terms of like pop, like
Nah, I know, I'm kidding. I know.
cultural, and their biggest cultural impact. I was probably right.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Um, and honestly, one thing I was very surprised about this movie, for a movie that I have not seen in like 15 years, I knew like almost all of the songs. I didn't realize how many songs come from this movie. Like just songs
Yeah.
that like people say in like everyday life. Not like you know what I mean. Like you just hear them. Like just I like what was it 16 going on 17? What else?
The one
Um,
where she's in the bedroom singing to the kids about
Oh,
one like
favorite things.
yeah, favorite things.
Uh,
There's
Do
a
Re
couple
Mi. I
more.
remember.
Yeah, that one.
Uh, what else is there?
I don't know. I forget the names of the songs, but
Yeah.
well, I
Honestly,
watched
my
it.
my well,
I watched it with mom, and she like
yeah.
knew every song. This is one of her favorite movies from when she was younger.
I like I mean I didn't realize, like, I guess when I watched when I was younger I just wasn't paying attention or like wasn't invested, but this is a really good movie.
Yeah,
Like,
I really liked it.
yeah, this
I
is
was
like
like
such a good
surprised.
movie. Yeah. And even for 3 hours, dude, like it didn't drag, like I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I don't know
Yeah,
if it's just
I
like
thought it was
the
no, just because you said 3 hours. I thought it was funny how like you could tell how dated the movie is. At like the halfway mark, there's an intermission
yeah,
where they're
yeah.
like where it's like for you to go to the restroom. So it's like intermission, then it starts playing music and basically shows like pictures of things in
Like just like
Austria for like
Austria.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's not only like the story. The story is fantastic, where it's like this this girl who's basically trying to find herself, and she's a nun, but it's not her calling. And then she meets this guy who is basically shaken up from the death of his wife, and he doesn't want to ever sing or hear music. And she sort of opens him up and introduces this music back into his life, and he ends up like falling in love with her. It's such a great story.
Yeah.
Um, and the two leads, I think, are the reason why it works so well
Yeah.
as well. What's her face again? I always forget it. Julie Andrews,
Yeah. And then
um, and Christopher Plummer,
yeah.
who both have. Christopher Plummer recently died, but I think Julie Andrews is still alive. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. Both working up until recently.
Which is kind of nuts.
But I didn't know this, but mom told me when we were watching that Julie Andrews apparently like had some sort of surgery go wrong on like her throat, and she lost her voice.
Really?
Isn't that insane? Because like she
Wow.
has a fantastic voice.
Yeah.
Um, so does Christopher Plummer though, and the
Oh
kids. You know,
yeah. Yeah.
they all were good. But
Do you have a favorite song?
favorite song, probably the favorite things. To be honest,
Really?
that yeah, I don't know. That
I
one
liked
I
Edelweiss.
oh actually yeah, that was a good one. Where when he like sings it for the first time.
Yeah.
I was gonna say actually that's probably my favorite scene where
Yeah.
like the
When he
kids are
comes
begging
into
him to
the
sing
yeah.
and
Yeah.
like he actually hits it mad hard.
I
I didn't
actually
know.
like
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. This another like my favorite scene. I mean, that was like another one that I really enjoyed. But when she does that like traditional Austrian dance, like his son, and like he like you could see like how like happy he is that like somebody else knows like how to do that.
Hmm. Yeah, like when Von Trapp is like first introduced, I was like, this guy's such a dick. But then like by the end, once
Yeah,
she like makes him open up, he like really became one of the my favorite characters in the movie.
yeah,
I think that Maria still is like my favorite character overall. But
yeah.
like Von
I agree.
Trapp's journey is like the most
He has the most
interesting.
growth as a character in the movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Um, and one thing I was gonna say, I'm surprised by like how great the cinematography is for the time,
yeah.
especially. It looked incredible. The movie. I remember there's this
I
one
feel like that
shot.
has a lot to do with the scenery of the movie.
Yeah, definitely when they're on the mountains and things.
Yeah,
Um, and also back, you gotta remember back then, like for these establishing shots, they didn't have drones. They had to get people up in helicopters,
yeah, dude.
like with big ass cameras, taking these videos. You know, recording
Yeah,
these scenes. There's one scene that's very impressive I think it's the opening shot where you start mad far away and then it goes all the way down to
yeah.
where Maria
They're like,
is
yeah. How did they even do that?
in a helicopter. It must be. What else could they even do? They don't like they can't be in a
How'd they
plane.
get the audio then?
I think if you watch it back, they have music playing over it and then when it gets to her, they cut to like a ground level shot, and then they start her singing. But still, it's like very impressive. There was one shot in particular, where when like Von Trapp pulls up to Maria like outside, and he basically like tells her that like he is in love with her, and there's like this shot of them both in the doorway, but it's like just their shadows, like kissing, and it's like through the light of the doorway. It just looks so beautiful. Like the shots just looked amazing, and it was so impressive for the time.
Yeah, that is crazy to think about, because like those would be like beautiful shots now, honestly.
Yeah. And this again, like going in, this was a movie that I just like didn't really have much interest in, like a 3 hour long musical from 1965. Like, I don't know, but I ended up like,
really enjoying it. Yeah.
You know.
No, it definitely surprised me.
So, do you know like if the whole movie was shot in Austria, or like where are you going that you're gonna see? Like, is it gonna be?
So
like
there's
that?
like a tour where they show it's somewhere in Salzburg. That's what I'm saying. Like that's the city it's from.
Cool.
So like all the scenes where they like running around in like the city, like they run on that fountain. Like all there I'll be.
Cool. Yeah, you got to get pictures too. We'll post on the Instagram. But the story itself, like, it's pretty simple and self-explanatory, but it's just very feel good, you know. Especially when they like the final, like the ending scene where they all escape and they're back on the mountains, but like together as a family instead of just her by herself. Just very well done, and I was very impressed. Especially like I said, for the time, this came out in 1965.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the director just because I wasn't sure. He also did West Side Story, which is obviously like a famous one.
Yeah.
And he's done a couple like older sci-fi movies as well. So I might have to check out more of his stuff.
Yeah.
But this has got to be on the older side though of movies you've seen. I'm sure.
Was this from the 60s?
Yeah, I was saying it's 1965. I've seen like a couple from the 60s.
I don't know if I've seen. I don't know, dude. I don't think I've seen a lot of movies from the 60s.
Yeah, like I've seen a couple. Like obviously 2001: A Space Odyssey is probably like the biggest.
Yeah.
I think that's like 67 or 68. I forget. And like I think Rosemary's Baby's in there.
Oh, I've
Night
seen
of the
that.
Living Dead.
Oh, yeah.
But like even comparing it to those, like this for the time just like looked amazing. Like I was like blown away by how great it looked.
Was it appreciated back then for its cinematography or no?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it was. It was like a different time back then, you know.
No, I know, but I just feel like
with how like
how did they even like know to fucking do like I don't know, dude.
Yeah, because it's like the
that
people
really is like
today
revolutionary.
The people working today are standing on the shoulders of like what came before them.
Yeah.
So the further you go back, the harder it is because there's just less material that you could use as inspiration, which makes like films this old that much more impressive. But yeah, I would definitely recommend it, even though, despite the 3 hour runtime, which is very scary to look at. I think I'm ready to give my rating though, unless you have anything else you want to say.
No, you covered it pretty well.
So, all right, yeah. So I gave this a 4.5 star, 9 out of 10. Biggest takeaway from the movie was how amazing it looked for the time, as well as having an incredible and moving story.
An amazing soundtrack.
Yep. Yeah, of course. I barely even talked about that. I know you did.
Yeah. But that's honestly what stood out to me the most. Even more. I mean, obviously the cinematography is amazing, but like that was the biggest thing for me was the music was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
I give it 4.5 as well. 9 out of 10.
Cool. good. Yeah, this was like a sort of a curveball for stuff we usually tend to watch. But yeah, I guess that does it for the discussion for this episode. I think we have a few questions though we could do before we wrap things up. Let's see. Let's do our Q&A really quick. All right, so we got more questions from Tom.Lieberman_, who's been consistently asking us questions. Thank you for the questions.
Thank you for the support.
Are there any trends you noticed with movies this year? If so, do you like the direction or not?
Friends, I mean,
like I mentioned, video games as a trend. Oh, here's a good one. Every single movie having a fucking $150 million plus budget. That's a trend that
I mean that's like more of a COVID thing, though. I feel like.
Yeah, I agree, but no, I don't like that direction. But that's probably the biggest thing. Like the amount of failed blockbusters this year is probably insane. Like there's probably been more flops this year than any year
in recent memory.
For sure. But yeah, like you mentioned, hopefully this is something that dies down. It's probably
I think it will.
So yeah, that's definitely the biggest trend. I don't know if you agree, probably, right?
No, yeah, I agree.
And then Tom also asks, is champagne just for the podium? I'm going to have to say yes to that one.
Yes. I agree.
If someone tries to give you champagne and you're not standing on the podium, dump that shit out and grab a beer.
Damn right.
And that's a Gran Turismo reference for those of you who are lost at this point. But yeah, and then
what else we got?
One more question from Rob at Rob.Imperato, another frequent question asker. Rob asks, is Sisu a top 10 movie of all time?
Absolutely not.
Because we watched it this weekend together.
Did you? I thought it was pretty cheeks, I'm not gonna lie. I watched it when it came out.
I liked it a lot better, dude.
What?
I thought it was bro. His character's just mad funny. Like
it's like it honestly, you know what they lost me is the hanging scene. After that, I was like, I'm done. Like I checked out after that.
Bro, you checked out after that? How about that? How about the underwater scene where he's sucking oxygen out of other people's neck after cutting their throat to like last longer underwater?
I mean, that's whatever. Like sure. That's more believable, honestly, than him hanging from a fucking noose for like 20 minutes. Like it's ridiculous amount of time. Bro. Yeah,
he's just that unstoppable, bro. That's not even the most unbelievable part.
Wait, what did you give it?
3.5.
What,
bro? It's just clear that they know that it's not like. Bro, he literally pickaxes the bottom of a plane.
The way they advertise it, like. I don't know, dude. You gave it 3.5 stars, dude.
Similar to John Wick in a way, where he falls off buildings and survives.
Bro,
and
if
shit.
John Wick would not hang for that long, dude. If that happened, he would be dead. Like they wouldn't
I know, bro, but it's supposed to be not taken seriously. Like it's supposed to be ridiculous.
Ridiculous is like the oxygen through the fucking guy's throat. Like that's ridiculous. Like this is just fucking silly. Like so it was so.
Bro, what about the part where he's in an airplane that just crashes and explodes, and then he just walks out?
That's after that scene, that's where they lost me. Like yeah. Like everything after that, I just was like, yeah, no.
I just felt like I knew what.
I mean, listen, it's like your opinion, dude. I'm not,
Yeah, but yeah, I would say yes. It's probably top 5 of all time.
I can't. I'm just so surprised that did Bert like it?
Yeah, he did. Actually, no, he didn't. Bro. He shitted on it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Now you actually have to look at Rob's Letterboxd. I didn't know he.
I didn't even know yet. Yeah, I didn't know he had one.
But he started following you. We'll plug his Letterboxd here as well for those of you who want to follow him.
Yeah, we'll put him on our Instagram or whatever.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna read you his name right now, just for if anyone's listening. It's Bert_0524. Yeah, he gave Sisu a 1.5 star.
Yeah, that's I gave it
Oh no, I gave it a
Two.
3. I gave it a 3. I'm bugging, but still.
Wait, hold on. What was it? Bert? What?
Bert underscore 0524. Rob goes hard on here, bro. He's got to get on.
Is this picture like the Batman with the moon?
Yeah, it is.
Rogue One 4.5. He's got some fucking taste, dude.
Yeah, Rob's got to get on the podcast one of these days.
Yeah, dude.
I didn't realize.
I wasn't familiar with your game, Bert. Damn, 144 movie. What the fuck, bro? I didn't know you watch movies this much.
Yeah, I didn't realize either.
Nah, holy shit, bro. He's got like it's on Infinity Pool.
Yeah, Rob really surprised me. But
Yeah, dude.
yeah. Anyways, thank you for the question.
Yeah, thanks, Bert. I have to apologize, Bert. I wasn't familiar with your game, dude.
But yeah, that'll wrap up episode 31.
That's pretty much it.
Are
you gonna recommend a movie?
I will recommend a movie. So as those of you know, this October we're getting the release of David Gordon Green's The Exorcist Believer, which is a direct sequel to the original movie. So I want to recommend The Exorcist, the original. I believe it's from 1973, if I'm not mistaken. A horror classic, and be careful when you watch this because it is notoriously haunted. So
yeah, didn't like a bunch of shit happen to all the actors and stuff?
Yeah, we'll talk about it on the next episode, but make sure you do a Hail Mary before you watch it. And yeah, we'll talk about that. I gotta double check on what's releasing, but next episode 32 is definitely gonna be delayed at least by a couple days because Joe's gonna be in.
I'm getting back from Europe this Sunday not this Sunday, next Sunday coming up. So like I'm not gonna have time to catch up on everything.
So I think we have The Nun 2. This Friday we have The Nun 2, My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3, which I'm gonna see both of them, but I don't know if they're gonna be worthy enough to even discuss on here. And then the following week is A Haunting in Venice, which that out of the 3 of those we'll probably do A Haunting in Venice if any. Yeah. And then The Exorcist. And then
I haven't seen The Exorcist in a while.
What about a list that you wanna?
Yeah, I was actually gonna do in that vein. Your top 10 horror movies.
Okay. Yeah, that's like that's a fun one, and that's like pretty simple. So
I know it's fucking early for Halloween, but I'm already in the fall mindset.
Yeah. So all right. So thanks for listening, everyone. Don't forget to follow us on socials if you're here still. Send us your lists that you make. We want to see your top 10 horror films as well. Send those to us. Follow us on Letterboxd. And that's really it.
Yeah.
See you in a couple weeks.
Peace.